Alright, you never know when that next fish is going to be the fish of a lifetime. That next cast. You want everything to be good on your lines. So in about 20 minutes of video here, I'm going to take the frayed line off of both of these. Retie my FG knots from a braided line to my fluorocarbon leader or monofilament leader. And then retie my hook on with the Uni Knot. Something I noticed the other day, that these my two braided lines here on these are getting pretty shredded up. Both of these are doing the same way. So you can see my FG knot right here. So you can see my FG knot here. And then from there this gets pretty, it's getting a lot of breaks in it. So I'm going to change these out. So you can see more right in there. Right there. The line's starting to get shredded up pretty good there. So I'm going to change these out real quick. I'm going to cut my line back and then do the FG knot again real quick. Put some new leader line on it. Alright, so I want to show you what I'm doing here. So I'll loosen my bell a little bit so I can pull my line. Alright, I'm going to cut these off the hook and the egg sinker. So once I'm done, I can put them back on. So I'm just setting them aside. Alright, so I'm going to pull some line through until I get rid of all the breaks in it there. So they had to have been from fishing around the rocks. Was causing the breaks in the line. Alright, so I'm just looking it over here to make sure I'm past all. Alright, so I'm going to cut all that out. So I'll set all that aside so I can throw it away in a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to pull a little extra line there. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to tighten my bell back down. Alright, so all I'm doing here, I'm just locking my rod in so I can pull and have a little tension on my line here. And then I'm going to take my fluorocarbon leader and I'm going to show you it only takes a couple of minutes to do the FG knot. So I just wrap the line around my finger a little bit, my fingers here, so I can keep tension on it for a couple of minutes. And I'm just going to put the line here under my leg here, so I can keep control of it. Alright, so the FG knot, all we're doing here is try to get this so I can, there we go. All you're going to do is go over each side. You're going to do 10 times on each side. Alright, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. Alright, so we're going to go each side and keeping it tight. Alright, so there's my 10 times on each side, so that's 20 times I went around. Alright, so then I'm going to cut this tag end off. I cut the tag end off of the leader. Alright, so I don't need all that. Alright, so what you want to do now is you want to do a half hitch knot. And pull it down over your tag end. So you're going to do a couple of half hitch knots. See, that's good and strong. You pull on it and get all the tension out. I got just a little bit of tag in there I'm going to take off. And then I'm going to do 2 more, the half hitch knots. This helps cover up the tag end. So it'll go through your guides really nice. That's one thing I like about the FG knot. It's really strong, but it'll go through your guides real easy. When you're casting, it'll go through the guides with no problem. And it's good and strong. Alright, so I took off my extra tag on that, on my braided line. So that's all it took right there. It's just a couple of minutes. You can do this out on when you're out there fishing. It just takes a couple of minutes. So I'm going to pull me out a good couple of feet. Couple feet of leader. I got a good couple 2 foot of leader or so. So I'm going to put my egg sinker back on. And then I'm going to put my hook back on. And I use the Uni Knot. A couple of my videos I kept calling it the multi-knot. But this is the Uni Knot that I've been using. This is real easy too. I used to do 6 times. And then pull it tight. So I used to wet my line whenever I pull my knots tight. I would wet my line down good when I pulled my knots tight. And Salt Strong's done some really good videos comparing the knots. And it seems like it doesn't matter if they're wet when you cinch them down. Alright, so there's that one. So we got our bad line cut out. Retied the FG knot. The braided line to the fluorocarbon leader. And tied my hook and egg sinker back on. Tied my hook back on with the Uni Knot. Okay, so I'm going to do the second one. And I'm going to try to hold it down here where you can see it. See what I'm doing better. So I just loosen the bell. So I'm come down here and I'm going to cut my line and get my egg sinker and my hook and set them aside. Okay, so I'm going to pull my line out enough to get all this bad line off. Alright, I'm losing my line here. Alright, I'm going to do this. Keeping this tight and tension on it. So I've lost my count on this. I don't know how many times I went. It's getting too dark too. Alright, so there's my 2 half-hitch knots. I'll pull on my knot and make sure it's cinched down good and tight. Okay, so I'm going to take my tag into the fluorocarbon off. And then I'm going to finish a couple of more half-hitch knots. So I try to teach about what I'm doing while I'm doing this. I'm not sure how good you'll be able to see this. I know my light's going away. It's starting to get dark in. That's 2 FG knots here in just a few minutes. Gonna cut my tag end off. Then again, I'm going to take from my FG knot and I'm going to take and give me a couple of feet of leader. And put my egg sinker back on. And then I'm going to put my hook back on. Again with the Uni Knot. I'm losing my light, but I can still get these tied. It's just doing them over and over a few times. Getting used to them. The Uni Knot's pretty easy too. So when I'm doing this, I'll grab the line. I can grab that line with my teeth to help pull it through. All it's doing is just giving me an extra hand. Alright, then I'm cinching it down, pulling it down good and tight. And then cut my tag in and leave just a little tag leaning out. Alright, so there we go. There's 2 FG knots and my Uni knots for my put my hook back on. Alright, so they're all done. It only took a couple minutes or a few minutes. So almost started too late to get them done. Hopefully you'll be able to see them okay in the screen there. I'm losing the light out here now. Alright, so there's the FG knots.